Starting up the stream. Cool. Hi everyone, I'm TigerHawk3, and today we will be coding once again. This time in JavaScript instead of the usual Python, because I want to build something that is actually usable on multiple platforms. So today, as you might see in the stream title and description, I'm going to build a shopping list, like grocery stuff. It's going to be pretty simple, I hope, but the idea is that I get something that's easier to work with and organize than static text messages, like text someone also get eggs, and then a few minutes later, and probably milk or something. It would be nice to be able to check things off once I've gotten them, and it would be nice to be able to move things around so I can kind of organize maybe by section of the grocery store. So that's what we're going to do. And here we are. First thing I'm going to do, language, HTML. There we go. HTML. This is very standard stuff. Title is going to be shopping list. And the title, no meta tags, that's it for the head. And now we'll have body and end of the body and end of HTML. Now we actually do stuff. Okay. So I've done a little planning already. The structure is going to be a simple page with a way to add elements, items for your shopping list, and each item will be able to be removed, and you can insert a new item, and you can also move items through the list to reorder or rearrange. Oh, and also a key component will be being able to export and import through a query string. You've probably, if you don't know what that is, you've probably seen it before. It's when the URL of a website ends with a question mark, and there's some text or word equals something else, ampersand some text equals another thing. So we're going to be doing something like that. So you'll be able to create a URL with a query string that has your shopping list items, and then when you visit that URL, it will populate the shopping list for you. So you should be able to make a list and then send it to someone, and then they can open it and move things around and update, and then send you the new link. And yeah, pretty basic, but should be effective. So what to start with? Let's put an item in there. That item is going to be a div. How about? And inside the div, we're going to have a text area. Is there a text area with one line? Is there a special thing for that? Not really. Okay, let's use a text area, I guess. Okay, let's do that. So we're going to have, let's put some buttons. Button type equals, is there a type? No. Button, I think it's value for the text, equals, this is going to be add a new one. Equals insert this. There's there's an HTML or a JavaScript function that allows you to insert a new node into HTML. Insert, and there's going to be button value, and I'm not putting any break after these. I'm not sure about this. This one is going to be remove this element, but I'm thinking maybe if you lose focus on an item and its text is empty, maybe it should just automatically be removed, and then you wouldn't need a button. But we'll see. And then we have our text area. Did we end these? No. Is this a self-ending tag? I think so. Let's see now. Not super sure about this part. I looked up the stuff that I hadn't done before, but I've made things with buttons and text areas before, so I didn't look them up. I'll be doing a lot of that, but that's okay. That's programming. Let's see. Rows equal 1. Is that a thing? So let's save this. Let's call it what shall we call it? Shopping list. .html. Great. And now I will. This window is too big. Make that smaller. There we go. Now I will open our shopping list. Great. So here is a thing which I will show you forthwith. That is what we got. Is that visible? Not the whole thing, please. Thank you. All right, great. So that's what we have over here. This is not quite what I want. I think we have a button behind the button. Button value equals this, something equals that, thing. Text area, it does have a placeholder with the rows, so those are correct. But these need something. Do we need to do that? I don't know, but we will find out. That's better. I should show you what I changed, which was I just did just explicitly ended the tag for the button. So that is better. Let me actually move this down here for now. So that's what we've got. It's not value. It's oh, we want a move up button. Up. There we go. I recently discovered that you can write this in your onClick value, and it will send the element that triggered it, which is going to be very handy. Is it text? Nope. It is. It is. Do I need a type of button, really? Maybe I need the type. this. And now we still have that. That's good. I need that. Nope. Type equals this, value equals that. Value for the button where. Why isn't that part working? Oh, I see. Doesn't go here. It goes here. That's great. Remove. Insert, remove. And up. There we go. You never can tell with these things. There we go. Cool. That's a good start. And we will have multiple of those, which will build automatically. So this is an item in our shopping list. That's good. That's cool. And let's see. So we have this. We might be removing the remove button. Remove the remove. Due to maybe it should just do that automatically when you clear an item out. Okay. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe this is just simpler. So, what do we need now? We will need to write these functions. We will need to write a function for an export button. Import is going to be automatic. When you just visit the site with the query string, it will import that automatically. And so let's start the JavaScript part, perhaps. Okay. Video output low. I don't know why. Anyway, so we're going to need function insert an element is going to be something, and we're going to have function remove element. And we're going to have function up element. Okay. So the insert is going to, let's do the remove first. Let's do that. So it says the video output is low. I don't know why. So remove is going to look at this element, and then it's going to get the parent element at some number of levels, and then remove a child. So when we click remove, this is the element that's being sent, this button. So we want to get this parent element, that's this div, and then we want to remove this entire div, so we need to go to that parent element, and then we remove this one. So we're gonna do let parent equals, get my notes, e dot, where'd it go? Parent node. E dot parent node. So that's the div that I want to remove. And then we're gonna do parent dot parent node. We could just say, we could just give the body an ID. Doesn't matter. Parent dot parent node dot remove child. Parent. Okay. Could one line that with this. So we're going to get our element that we were sent, which is going to be the button. And then we will get its parent, which is going to be this div. And we will get that parent, which is this body. And then we're going to remove a child node of the body element, which is this element's parent, which is going to be this div. We go up and back down, this one. There's no delete this thing itself. So let's be nice and put a semicolon there. Automatic semicolon insertion is a thing, but I'm gonna put a semicolon in there because I'm supposed to. So we've got that. Where am I? Here we are. And I'm gonna refresh, enter item, and when I click minus, it should remove this. Indeed. Let's check the console for errors. No errors. Cool. Great. That works. An excellent start. Awesome. So we can remove an element. That's easy. And up and insert are going to be similar because there's a JavaScript function called insert before, which is a method of a node. And what it does is it allows you to add, let me read the description from the documentation. Inserts a node before the reference node as a child of a specified parent. So if we had our body and a whole bunch of divs, we would say, if we had 3 divs, for example, 3 shopping list items, we would insert a new item as a child of the body parent node before a reference node of one of the items, divs. So if the node already has a parent, the node is first removed, then inserted at the new position. Which means that if we want to switch the, if we want to swap 2 items, we'll just take the one that's afterward and insert it before the one that's before it. Should be relatively straightforward. And of course, if we want to actually add a new one, we will have to create a node and then insert before. So that's cool. Man, YouTube still says that stream health is in the red. I don't know why. I don't know why. Video output low. Seems like it's working otherwise. Anyway, insert and up will be similar. I think we'll do up first. So we're going to get, let me get my notes. We're going to get a parent node, and then we're going to insert before new node and a reference. That means we'll need to create a node. Let me actually give this an ID, and we'll call it wrapper. I don't know. Why not just call it body? Actually, list is more descriptive. Let list equals document.get element by ID list. There we go. And now element.parent node is the list. There. Cool. Now we can refer to this elsewhere and get the entire shopping list element. So when we want to move something up, we will be getting this element and inserting it before the previous one. Let's do the following. Let's give us 3 to start with. So when we have stream health is green again. I don't know why. That's okay. That's part of programming. If you've played Far Cry 3, the main villain from the game has a tendency to ask in a sort of motto, did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? And the answer to that is it's one definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Sometimes that works in programming. It's the place where it's least sensible to work, because computers are largely deterministic, but the key is sometimes something changed and you just didn't notice. And then you get something different. Lots of fun. Anyway, up is going to get, we need this node, which is E, and we're going to put it before the previous node, and we get the previous node with a function called node dot previous element sibling. Should work. Element is one of the buttons, so I need its parent. E equals, so we're going to redefine it here. E dot parent node. So instead of working with the button, we're just going to say we don't want to specifically do that. We want the div that holds it. That's better. And so after we do that, we will say that we want to insert this element we now have, this div, before the previous one. So we will do, and it's a method of the parent. So it's list dot insert before the new node, which is our current one, and a reference, which is the one before which we want to insert something. List.insert node. Insert before the new one, which is this one, and the reference, which is the one before. E and E dot previous element sibling. There we go. Okay, let's see what happens, I guess, when I do that. So So now we'll go back to here, and then I will refresh. So we have 1, 2, and 3. What happens when I click up on this? The desired behavior is that we will have enter item 2, and then enter item 1, and then enter item 3. Let's see what actually happens. Nothing. Do we have an error? We do. Document.getElement by ID is not a function. Get element by ID didn't work. That's weird. Oh, it's a lowercase d. You're so funny, JavaScript. Anyway, let's refresh that. And now we will try to move it up and see what happens. It worked. We'll get this one, say whatever, and we move it up, and it worked. It worked. Neat. What happens if we move this one up? I don't know. Oh, it does that. And then it breaks once. Is there an error in there? Up, up, up. And fails once, and then that. Okay, interesting. There's probably something with if there's no previous node. I think there was. That it goes on to the end. If the reference node is null, the specified node is added to the end of the list of children of the specified parent node. Let's do a console.log print debugging log of e dot previous element sibling. Maybe we can access something in there. I don't know. Maybe this will be enough to be informative. So it's a button. Let's do this after we do the what's it. That's better. Up we go. It's a div. This one. Right, it was the number 2 that's there. So we clicked on the one for 3, and the previous one for that was 2, and now it's still highlighting 2, which is what we want. How much of this can you see? Not a lot. Let's move this over a bit. There we go. There. Great. This is neato. Back in the day, 10, 20 years ago, this wasn't a thing. Getting this information was a lot more annoying. So, almost as annoying as only having one monitor. I technically have 2, but the backlight on the other one is out, so I don't really. So I'm gonna move this up again, and the one before it is item 1. So we're highlighting item 1. What happens when I do this again? What's the one before? Nothing. Okay, because there wasn't anything before, so it moved it to the end. And if I do this, Oh, it's script. Oh, okay. Interesting. I see. Let's do the following, because we have body and then div, 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 and then script. Let's do this. There we go. Beautiful. Very beautiful. I'm happy that was such an easy fix. So the problem was that we had another element in our list which wasn't actually part of the list. And I forgot about that. The script is an element. And so we put a little div wrapper around our actual shopping list. And now it functions as expected. So I'm going to take out the console.log. We don't need that. How often we refer to E twice? Dot parent node, dot parent node. Let's see what it looks like. That's pretty okay. Do 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 do. Great. Remove up one line. Great. And insert is going to have to create a node. And when we do that, how do we create a node? I don't know. Let's find out. I don't know. But I'm Googling it. Create element. Is this going to be a mess? Maybe we can create a div and then set its inner HTML to all that text. And that's document.createElement. Append child insert node create element. Let's try that. And it's on the document. Great. Let's see what happens. That's keyword new element equals document dot create element of a div. New element dot inner HTML equals this stuff, perhaps. Can I do that? And yes, I know that it's parsing this as a thing and not as text. I realize that's because Notepad++, at least the version I'm using, does not really properly recognize the format multi-line string stuff. Let's see if I can do that. And now the highlighting's all messed up, of course. That's okay. Let's see if we can do this. Plus that. Plus that. Plus that. Does it go to the next line automatically? I don't know. No, I can do that. Oh, let's put a new line in there at the end, because reasons. Okay, and let's see what happens in the thing when we insert. So we get a div with a thing. Something went wrong. That's not good. Okay. That's a good start. Something went wrong while displaying this web page. I don't super know what I did wrong. But it was something, I guess. Maybe this would, I don't really know. I can do that. That works fine. I can take one out. If I add one, does it still go wrong? Nope. Is it logging the thing that makes it go wrong? Maybe it's mousing over it and it's trying to highlight it on the page, but it hasn't been placed on the page, doesn't exist. Yeah, I would say that's probably the issue. Okay. Which is fine. Because I fully intend to put it in a location. So, now that we know it's created it properly, we will place it on the page. And the way we do that is with the insert. List.insert before, and we want to specify the node we're adding, which is new element, and the reference node, which is e dot parent node, because e is the button, and we want the div that kind of wraps the element. Okay. This is just so I know it's a different one. Okay. We can do that, and we can and four there. Cool. Easy as pie. Neat. That works perfectly. Cool. Cool. All right. What is actually next here? Let's take out these item numbers. We don't need that. We actually don't need the rest of these, really. There's going to be more we have to do for the query string, which is document dot location or search or something. location.search? I think it's location.search. Alright. Indeed. Can you see that? Yeah. Cool. So that's what happens there. That's a query string. Now you've seen it. Note that the question mark is included in the resulting string, even though that's kind of what separates it from the rest of the URL. So we will have to remove the question mark, parse the string, and then create stuff. So I guess this part kind of works like already. We're gonna have one of those. Enter item, and I'll probably want to center this because I mean, I don't know. Milk. Oh, I wanted milk to be the first one. There we go. So there's no way to add one to add an item directly onto the end, but that's fine because you just add it on right before the end and then switch those. Simple. How about eggs and green beans, and we will want to set focus on that when we insert before. That should how do we get elements? How do I access this? I think there's a way to get all the get elements by tag name. Sure. By tag name, div called list, div. Okay. One is this one, two is that one. This is very convenient. Okay. What did I want to do with this in the first place? I don't remember what I was going to do with that. I am working on, you can move them up. Oh yes, to focus. So I have this div dot, is there a get or something? I'm going to get something and then focus it. What does focus itself do? On change could be interesting. And then we remove the parent. So this, I don't know if you can see it. Question is, can I see it? Dot. Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. So maybe I could do at some point on, wow, there's a lot. On change, and when it changes, meaning you put something in, and then focus something else is a change event, then it could check whether it's empty, and if it is, remove it. I think we can leave this here if you want to enter a bunch of blank lines and then just, go through them. Enter this here and that there, whatever. So we want to access a different element. On. Children. Children is button text area. Okay. So if we do children 3, that's this text area. Okay, cool. Cool. Is it focus? Is that what we want? I don't know if focus is actually the thing we want. Maybe it's set focus or something. Set attribute, set pointer. It's probably focus. So let's go back to here and say new element dot children 3 dot focus. Okay, let's see about that. And it focused it. Great. Cool. Alright, that's good. That does what I want. We will leave the minus as it is and not do a check for whether it's empty and then remove it when you change it. So then we can have some blank lines, basically. Maybe that's good. I don't know. We might decide later that we want to change it. I think this is a thing. Does that do what I want? No. Regular line. Line equals. There we go. That's better. So now it's in the middle. That's great. What next? We can add items. We can add, which is insert before. We can remove, and we can move up. How about at the end? Not at the end, but after this thing. So after this list, we will have a button. Button on click equals export. And export to clipboard. And the button. I want line equals center also. Thank you. Because reasons. It's not in the center. That's annoying. It worked in the div. some space there. Perfect. So now we have a bunch of items in our list, and we can add and remove, blah, blah, blah. This is a test. Move up, this up, that over there. Cool. And when we export, what happens? It has to create a URL with a query string. What's location? Dot. Is there more here? Let's see what we have in location. Path name. So it's going to create a URL of wherever they access this from. So when I create it here, it's going to have my local path name and then the query string we want with our items. And if they do it online, I will be putting this online. That's the entire point. It's going to be on my tigerhawkt3.com and also on my GitHub with the github.io thing, which is tigerhawkt3.github.io, and then it's a mirror basically. So if you use it on one, it will create a URL for that one. Path name, search, etc. Okay, great. So now we'll have to go through all these elements and get the value of each text area. Value? Yeah. So we'll get the value of each one. URL encoded, because what if you have rice and beans? Then if you concatenate and join the list items with an ampersand, you have a problem. So we're going to take care of that. And now we have to write a function. Function export. And the export function is going to go through all of the text areas and create a query string with the URL and put it into the clipboard. There is a good way to do this somewhere. Clipboard, clipboard, clipboard. Navigator.clipboard.writeText. Okay. I'm going to write that down in my notes. Cool. And then. So export is going to go through all the elements, and that would be something.getElements by tag name. So perhaps my list element, and then I could get everything by tag name of a div. List.getElements by tag name. Can Can I do that? Let's test that out in the thing. List dot get elements by tag name. It's not what I wanted. Tag name div. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Perfect. And it's an HTML collection. Can you see that in the output? Sort of. This stuff here. It's an HTML collection, not an array. It's a different thing. So what we're going to do is say let items equals array dot from list dot get elements by tag name. Did I get all the capitalization right? Get elements by tag name. Okay. I want the divs. So I'm going to get all those divs. And I'm going to say for let item of items. So I'm going to go through each one. And I'm going to say I want to join these. Should I do a map or something? Maybe I should do that. Result equals items dot map something dot join on ampersand equals yeah. And what are we going to do? This is the function. Let's do one of these. So this is a arrow syntax, which is basically an inline function. We could do instead function x this, and it would be the same thing. But this is cool. The cool kids do this. I'm a cool kid. So each of these x is going to be, let's call it E, element. It's going to be an element of the list. It's going to be one of these divs. So we have that div, and we want the child 3. And that's going to be the text area, and we're going to get that value. And then we're going to encode that value. Programming is just step by step. Remember that show from the 90s? But anyway, encode URI component. So we're going to get the element. Then we're going to look at its children and get the one at index 3. Then we're going to get the value. Then we're going to encode URI component. So we're going to look at the items, and for each of these divs that we get, we're going to get its child 3, and then look at the value of that text area, and then encode it as URI component. Then we're going to get all those text strings, and we're going to join it into an ampersand. Join it by ampersands. And for now, we're going to do console.log result. thing. What did I do wrong? Unexpected token export. On line 26. Oh, this is a thing. This is a keyword. Sorry, JavaScript. My bad. My bad. I apologize. Okay. About a 1 and a nothing, and a 2 and a 3. Boom. Code URI component. Probably something missing from here. Let's trim that down to value. One, two, three. 1 and nothing, and 2 and 3. Okay. Oh yeah, it's not a string method. My bad. Encode URI component. It's a built-in function. There we go. One and nothing, and 2 and 3. 1. What's a common food name that has an ampersand in it, other than rice and beans, which I already used? Got to be original and creative when you program, right? Eggs and bacon. This is eggs speaking, as in eggs and bacon. That's a thing. Eggs, %20, that's a space. %26, that's the ampersand. %20, that's the space. Bacon and 2 and 3. Cool. And now we will put it in the clipboard, which is navigator.clipboard.writeText. And we're going to write a text of not just the result. We want the base name, location.base name, I think. Path name. Location has path name. Okay. All lowercase. It's not path name. No. Location.path name plus a question mark plus the result. Okay. Two and 3, 4 and 5. Export to clipboard, and we paste in here, and we get the address, question mark, 1 and 2 space ampersand space 3 and 4 and 5. Perfect. Next, we will need a function that can parse the string that we've created and then read it back in. Cool. We're gonna do it after these functions. I think, in theory, I could have it do these things. I could call these functions before I use them, I think, in JavaScript, due to something called hoisting. Like, it kind of looks through the rest and sees if it needs a function definition right now and says, let's move that around, like, automatically. But I'm going to be very reasonable and not do that. So, we are going to look at the query string and see if it's there. Search is currently that. If I remove it, it is currently nothing. If location dot search is it's not empty, then I want to do things. That's right. What things do we want to do? We will have to get the query string, and then we'll have to take off the leading question mark. Then we'll have to split it on ampersand, and then we will have to go through all of the items that we will split. Did I already say that? We're going to split on ampersand, then we're going to get this array that produces and go through it and add items to the list. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's do the following. This, instead of being hard-coded, is going to be somewhere in here. If it's empty, we're going to make a new element. Here's the inner HTML. Oh, we won't have a parent node. Oh, we will have a parent node. Let's do the following. Let template equals this thing. Let's put a semicolon there. Here's our template. This is going to equal template. So if there's no location.search, then we're going to say we want one of these. I'm going to need this over here. We're going to have should we have some facility for what you do if you empty the list entirely? Because the add new, the insert item button is attached to an element. You can just refresh. F5, there's already a button built in for that. Alright, so if it's empty, then we want to create a new element, set it to the template, and then we're going to do something slightly different from insert. I know. List dot, should it just be append child? Append child. What does that do? Adds a node to the end of the list of children of a specified parent node. If the child is a reference to an existing node, it moves to the new position. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Append child. So if it's empty, we're going to create a new child, and then we append just the element, right? Append child, a child. Okay. That's doable. We're going to append child, new element. Okay. Let's test this out. Seems to work just fine. Yeah, that's okay. Great. Cool. Let me move this side a little so you can see this stuff here. So we don't need that. It will behoove us to do this. Function new item. Return new element. Okay. New element equals new item. Okay. All right. Fresh. Run is not of type node. Oh, I need to it's a function, not a node. If I do this, then I get a node. There we go. There we go. This can just be new item, because we're not doing anything weird with it. Actually, we want to focus, right? So never mind. Element dot focus. Okay. So this creates a new element with the content we want. This is literally only used there. So it's going to move into here. We don't need that hanging out there. And this can actually, that can go in there. So this creates a new div with this HTML inside, and then returns that element. And we want to, when we want to insert something, we make one of these new elements, and then add it to the list, and then focus its text area. We remove something easy. When we want to move something up, we just move it up. Putting our list to the clipboard means we make an array out of all the divs in our list, and then we encode each of the elements, children 3's value, and then we join that at ampersand, and then we write it to the clipboard. If it's empty, so this is not in a function, so we first assign our list, and then we write a bunch of functions for convenience, and then this will also run when we start the page. So it's going to say if there's nothing in the query string, then just make a new element and add it to the list. So we start with 1, and otherwise else, we want to create elements out of these things in the list. Okay, we can do that. Items. Let items equals. We don't need to do that. Equals location dot search dot location dot search dot slice 1 and onward would be that. Okay, great. Slice 1. String.slice in JavaScript works pretty similarly to Python's slice syntax, which also means the slice built-in function. There's actually a thing. You don't have to do my list 3.5 or 3.6 or whatever. You can do my list slice 3.5 none. You can do that, I think, something like that, and it's the same thing. This is just syntactic sugar for that. So when you do this, you're really creating a slice object without having to write all of this stuff. So slice 1 is going to say 1 and onward. We don't need a something and none or null because it's not an index in Python. If you do my list 1, that's just the single item at index 1, while doing this is a slice from 1 and onward. But this already is slice, not index of item, so we don't need the and onward part. It's implied. So we're gonna take that. We get the location.search. We slice off the question mark, and then we split it on ampersand. How about reverse? Okay, it's in place. All right. Because what I plan to do is insert a bunch of items. I will have to make a new one. Yeah, I can just do append child a bunch. That's easy. I'm not going to reverse it. I was thinking I was going to use the built-in insert thing to insert before, meaning that I would first insert the last thing, and then insert something before that, and then insert something before that. So I'd want to turn it around so it doesn't flip your shopping list every time. That would be annoying. But instead, I'm going to just use append child, because the list is going to start empty, and then I'm just going to add items to it in order. Easy. For let item of items. For each one of these items, I'm going to decode that URI component, and then I'm going to create an element and set its text area's value to this thing, and then I'm going to append it as a child of the list. So that would be I have an item. I want to add it to the list. List.append child of I want a new element. Let's do this in order. E equals new item. So E is a new item, and then E dot children 3 dot value. This is somewhere, right? E dot children 3 dot value equals decode URI component item. So we have a new item in our shopping list, and then we set its text area's value to be the item that we're going through from the query string. We're going to make sure to decode that so we don't get a whole bunch of %20, %26, etc. I'm going to decode that, and then we're going to say list dot append child E. So usually a query string has the structure of key equals value ampersand, key equals value. So it's a bunch of key value pairs delimited with each pair delimited from the rest by an ampersand. But this one isn't really going to have a state of each item. I was thinking about having like a check or something, like I got this one, but if you want you can just write in I got this one, or you can delete it. So nah. That it? Maybe. Let's see what happens when I do a thing. Why is there a hi over here? That's odd. Oh, because I haven't. It worked accidentally. Why is this doing a thing? Because I don't know whether this makes me extra smart or extra stupid. It has it's. I forgot that I had something with the query string already, and so going to that would do this automatically. Let's see what happens when I do this. Enter item. Why is it a little off? Why is it a little off? That's weird. Button. Oh. Was it doing that before? I don't remember. Why is it a little off? Why is it a little off? Why? That's very strange. A div with this. What did I change? Why is it looking like that? That is very strange. tell you what. Let's do this. See what we get for a start there. That. Nope, same thing. So wasn't an issue with that. Why is it slightly off? This alignment, that's... Let's just see how it works for now. A, B, C, and D. And that's blank. And E. Then we export to clipboard. A, B, C, and D, blank E. Neat. Not so neat. It's supposed to be... That works. So why... Pathname. Oh. I guess I need more stuff. So it's not just the path name. I need the origin. Origin? Does it work with just two? Because that's the origin. The href has file : / origin only has file : / But okay. Origin, you say. I can do that in the toClip. Okay. Let me check something else here. Just going to make sure this works with a different kind of origin. Origin. Okay. So the path name interesting. So for a website online, the origin would be http://example.com, and the path name is / whatever the name of website.html. So we need the origin and the path name, I guess. Anything that has both of those but not the query string? I don't think so. So I guess it's origin plus path name. So origin plus path name plus search is equal to the href. Okay, that is also fine. Yeah. How about a 2 cnd blank e? A2 cnd blank e. Oh yeah, this is just swapping. Why is it slightly off? That's something I would like to know. Being just a, can you tell? It's just, it's weird. I would like it not to do that, please. Maybe there's a vertical alignment or something that I can do. Button style equals vertical line, vertical line, vertical line. Center? Is that a thing? Let's go back to our shopping list. Not really. Put it here, put it here, put it there, put it everywhere. Nope. Didn't do what I wanted it to do. So it basically works, only it looks a little funny, and I don't know why. Maybe padding or something? I don't know. Elements by tag name div. Now let's do a list. Sorry. That's all I want. This one. So we have the text area is aligned with the top of its container, and the buttons are aligned with the bottom. That's interesting, don't you think? Why is it doing that? I mean, in terms of functionality, it works. It's perfect, as far as I can tell. How long did that take? Hour and a half. It's good. It's good. But why is it misaligned? That's something I want to fix, for sure. Why? I was expecting it to be like this, but it's not. Why would that be happening? Vertical line top. Top. We can do that. I'll just do that. Or, easier, vertical line bottom. All right. Or perhaps center. Is that a different thing? Nope. Center is not happy camper. Align bottom. Okay. I do like having a bit of space I can do that with how much room will that be? Oh. Oh. I want a little bit of space. The new element should have some padding. Right. Tag name div 0 and a dot. Do we want padding? Is there a padding thing? No. It's probably style. No. This is just an element. So I want to get an attribute and set that to something. Auto capitalize, huh? I wonder what that does. Click on it. What I want is a new attribute, which would be offset. No, that's a bunch of on that I don't want. Spell check, really. Style. I don't style equals padding pixels. All right, we can do that. Element dot style equals padding about 3 pixels. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Perhaps we are done. Oh, no, I don't want that. It seems a little off still. I suppose it just not really aligned with the top of the text area and the top of the button don't exactly line up. Definitely not what we want. I know we already tried this, but remember what I said about the definition of insanity? It might have worked. You can't say for sure that it wouldn't have. I think that's okay. It's not supposed to be incredibly beautiful. It's supposed to be usable. Note, I don't know how this is going to look on mobile because I'm using it on desktop and Windows environment in Chrome. Might be very different in mobile. These things might appear really, really tiny, but you can just zoom. So this is This works. Let's get a blank one. I'm going to want a couple things. Salad. Milk. Blueberries. Yogurt. Fruits and veggies. This is a realistic, practical test because this is things that I often get at the supermarket. Salad, milk, blueberries, yogurt, berries. Let's just change this to oranges, apples. Be more specific. Three, two, Parmesan cheese. Take out those. Export to clipboard. Cool. Maybe I can even style the div a little more. It's gonna be fancy. Padding 3 pixels. Border. My goodness, there's a lot, huh? Border. 2 pixels. Solid blue. Hehe. Oops. That's not really what I wanted. The div apparently stretches the entire screen. That's fun. So let's just not do that. Let's just not do that. Let's make the... Is the text area good? Should it be a little longer, each one? Text area. What properties does it have? I know it has rows. Columns. Columns. And what is the default? I don't know. Uh, 20, maybe? Maybe 20 was the default. Hmm. 30 columns is probably good. The good kind of mustard. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Probably make this even longer. It would be fine. I'd say that's good. Looks fine. It's clear. You enter items, you export to the clipboard, and then you can paste that into a text message to someone and they just go there. And there's the shopping list, and they can say, oh, this, you've got the oranges, and then milk, and then the green beans. Those are like at the other end of the store, so you can rearrange that. Remove things that you're not interested in, or put like your own little check mark. You can just write something into the box to indicate that you got it. I think we're done. I think we might be done. That's cool. fit content. I'm Googling as we speak. How to make div not larger than its contents. Yeah, that's what I want. The solution is to set your div to display inline block. Okay. See how that works. Is that visible? That's the stuff I'm doing. It's kind of a long thingy. Move this over here. How about that? That should work. Okay, did I save this? Yes. We have this, we have that. Neat. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Ooh. It's inline now. I don't. Maybe it's just display block. Maybe if I don't tell it to do inline, maybe that's the problem. Display block. Nope. Never mind. Never mind. Where's the thing? What just happened? Unexpected. Oh, my bad. There. Okay. So the divs are going to be the width of the thing, because I don't want to be putting break elements after every div, and then it looks through all the elements. It's well, I guess the look through search when we do this, it's tag name of div. We would also need to add a break after each one. After outside the div. I'm not doing that. It's not necessary. It's already a very clear and usable shopping list. So this works. I will be uploading it to my regular website, tigerhawk3.com, and my GitHub mirror, which is basically free hosting for static pages, tigerhawk23.github.io. And the name of this will be shoppinglist.html, as you see. So tigerhawk23.com/shopping_list.html, and then you will have a shopping list. And all you need to do is go there and add your items, and you can move them around, and then you can export to clipboard, and it'll copy that and send it to someone else. And not it will send it to someone else. You can go to your messaging, your email, or whatever, and then just paste the link, and then they will go there, and then there's the shopping list, and they can make changes if they want, and then create a new link and send you that, and that's it. I think we're done. Plus, minus, move up, enter item. What happens when it's possibly not big enough? Okay, we can scroll, and that works fine. And if you notice, it does move to the side. That's because it's centered, not including the scroll bar. There is a thing you can do to make it take that into account, but I literally don't care for this application, because that's fine. So, yeah, feel free to use it, enjoy. I don't know how it works on mobile. I haven't really tested it a lot, except for in this local environment on this machine, but I will be pushing it live and trying it out and telling people for whom I help with shopping to use it, they probably won't. They'll be like, I just want to send you a regular text message. This is too hard. But I'll be like, I wrote it. So there you have it. Future stream at some point will be bingo simulation. If you're not familiar with bingo, it's a game where everyone gets a card with a grid of numbers, and a host person calls out numbers one by one, and as they call out a number, you mark it on your card if it's there. And the objective is to get a row, column, or diagonal of marked squares on your card. It's like playing tic-tac-toe, only it selects the option for you. So there's not really anything that the player does except for saying, yes, it is here, which I figure a computer program could do. So it will not only be a simulation of a bingo game which you can play, it'll just play bingo itself. Bingo will happen. So maybe that at some point. There's a few extra rules and things of how it works, like which rows have which numbers and which sequences, etc. There's some variations, but something like that at some point in the future. And but yeah, this was Shopping List. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can watch all my other videos that have been archived, and they are available on the channel. Just youtube.com/TigerOcty3. And I think that's it. Thanks again, and have a good one.